like Reckful has had one of the biggest impacts in this entire game ever. More than anyone else, I think, by a long shot, that has influenced and inspired and showed so many people that there is a way to do something that you love what you do and love what's going on and make something out of it and have a lasting impact on many more people as opposed to just something that's as small as like doing something for yourself. Not only did Reckful have one of the biggest impacts ever in the entire WoW scene, but just in general of gaming. The reason why this is so massive too is not just because it's a WoW thing. Reckful theoretically has invented Twitch streaming. He was one of the first people to ever be on the platform, and the way he set up his stream, the way he set up his page, the atmosphere, the environment, the way he interacted, the way he did everything at all, he was the first person. He was basically the pioneer of gaming streaming. And he's one of the biggest names at all, and a lot of people don't know that because that was a long, long time ago, way back. And what he's done for so many people and how many people he's helped and influenced and just helped build people's careers and do so much more that was just so much bigger than just him alone was absolutely insane. And that's why you're seeing such a huge reaction, especially just in the entire just the gaming world, because of how much of an influence that this guy had over so many different aspects of what was going on. And I feel like he never really got enough credit for all that. I obviously he was one of the greatest rogue players, one of the greatest WoW players in the entire world. But I think if we really look back at it, his skill in the video game of World of Warcraft is one of the smallest accomplishments or achievements that he's ever had. I think the fact that how many people's lives he's influenced and touched and what he's done for gaming in general as a whole, and all the people that have ever met him or talked to him or had any kind of chance to be around him would recognize that as a whole of how important he was to just the whole evolution of gaming culture and the gaming world in general. Yeah, I just can't believe what happened today, man. I can't believe it. I woke up to my dad texting me about it. I woke up way earlier than I thought. My dad texted me. Like even my dad knew about it. Like, that's how crazy today was and what's been going on and what's happened. And it's fucking unbelievable, man. It's so awful to see stuff like this happen in the gaming world, especially with all the stuff that's been happening the last few weeks. And one of the things I was saying in the last few weeks when a lot of this was going on was, guys and girls, we got to be way more aware of what's going on with our friends, people that are in our same circles, people that are in kind of the same community, kind of the same atmosphere. We need to be much more aware of where we are in what's going on in each other's, in each other's lives. Be able to check up on each other and do anything we can to try to prevent things like this from happening. We need to be more aware of our friends' mental health. If you see somebody that's kind of disconnecting from what's going on, you don't really see them around posting on anything, or you don't really talk to a lot of people, we need to be more aware as a group in a community here to stop things like this from happening, because this is not something that was I never knew Reckful as a super close person, or I never really had a lot of close conversations with him or anything, but I've had many different interactions with him over the years, and this is not something that just happened overnight. This is something that has absolutely happened. It's just been years and years and years of buildup of what's been going on. And if we as a group and a community can come together to try to prevent these things from happening, this is not like a overnight thing that just happens. This is a long progression of buildup that happens, man. And a lot of people that you might see yourself, if you see people that are just being assholes, being toxic to people that are just hating and spreading negativity over the internet, it really gets to people. It really affects people, no matter how big you think someone is, or how popular, or how famous, or how rich, or how wealthy, or how whatever you think someone is. People's words stick with people, man. That's one of the main things on the Twitch platform as well, man. A lot of people might understand this. Reckful is one of the biggest streamers in the entire planet, and a lot of people might sit there and think like, oh man, this guy gets so many positive comments and what's going on, and all they do is focus on the negative, and they just see the bad comments and the bad. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. Okay, Twitch streaming is something that's, you put yourself out there in the public eye and the public atmosphere. You're completely open to judgment from people from all across the world who are just sitting behind a computer screen. And when there's so many different people telling you all these negative things, it really starts to add up, and it's hard to start to hear anything good. And one of the big things in Twitch streaming is you want to make sure that when you're hearing compliments, that you don't read too much into the compliments, because if you read too much into compliments and you get this big high and this big feeling of greatness and that everything is so good, then those comments that are also extremely negative on the other end of the spectrum are going to be ones that are going to completely break your mental, because if you hold the confidence to such high standards, then you'd also hold the negative comments to such high standards. And I think another thing too that people don't realize about Twitch streamers is that people might think that that's why this whole idea of cyberbullying and toxicity on the internet and what's spread is, I hate this argument when people say, oh my god, if you're sitting here getting yelled at on the internet, if you're getting yelled at on Twitter, on Instagram or Snapchat or Twitch, all you got to do is turn it off. Like, that's not how it works. That's not reality. Especially when you're a Twitch streamer, you dedicate so much time and so much of your life and personal life to what you do and what's going on, that when you read comments that are full of hatred and negativity, it's not like when the person turns off the stream that it just disappears from their brain. Like, no, that's not how it works. It's they sit there, they read the comment, it completely kills their entire vibe and atmosphere and mood of their stream, and then they'll turn off the stream and just sit there and think about it all day long. It's not like it just goes away. Okay, I don't get nearly as much hate as a lot of people, and even I will feel like when I have a stream and I can tell the vibe is off, the atmosphere is wrong, the mood is wrong, it completely ruins my entire day and atmosphere and what I'm thinking. And it's not something that you can just turn off or ignore, because if that's your livelihood and what you do and what you surround yourself with, and it's one of your most biggest things that you do in your entire world, it means a lot to you. So you might think when you say those troll comments or something that it's like it's something they can brush off or they can laugh at, and that's just not how Twitch streaming works. That's not how the internet works. The internet is something where if something comes out about you, it's very easy to have lots of misinformation, or people jump on a hate bandwagon and instantly just try to fuel all the negativity and the bad stuff going on. And it has very real consequences. And it's not all the time that we see those consequences, but this is one of those times where people might start to see or realize that when you're sitting there in Twitch chat, or you're sitting there on Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or YouTube, and you're leaving those super negative comments or just being an asshole or just a terrible person, that it has a serious impact on the person on the other side of the screen. It's not just an NPC or some random made up thing. It's reality. And just because it's not face to face, the words don't hold any less meaning or anything. If anything, I think the fact that it's over the screen and in this kind of internet world that we live in, the words are much more meaningful, because that's all there is at the end of the day. There's no physical interaction. It's solely just what you see on the screen. And when you have a lot of people speaking that kind of negativity into your life, it has a serious impact on what's going on. And today's just been an awful day in not only just the entire WoW scene, but in just gaming culture in general. This is a huge loss for the gaming community, and this is something that's just not good for anybody. And like I said earlier, we need to be better as a collective group and a collective community, and our friends. We need to be checking up on each other. We need to be more just aware of what's going on. We need to be showing people that there are possibilities of finding a better life, you know? Like that maybe life might suck right now. Maybe shit might be awful. Maybe you might be feeling like shit. Maybe things are awful. But we need to be showing people that are struggling and going through these problems that there are things that can get better. Things will improve. Life will get better as time goes on. And to make life go on for people, we need to be there for people. We need to be better we need to be a better group. We need to be listening when people are saying these things. We need to be trying to be more actively nicer to people. We need to stop this spread of a lot of toxicity and negative energy in the internet world, because things spread so quick, and it's so easy to just really fuel things and jump on a bandwagon. And And like I said, it just has insane consequences, man. And especially when you're so deep, man, into the internet, and you're so committed to what's going on, and you're so, like, the internet's your whole world, gaming's your whole world. Like, I think for most of us, like, I'm on the computer, 10 plus hours a day. I'm looking at social media all day long. And when all you see in your life is a lot of negative comments or a lot of just bad things that people are saying to you, it's really hard to block out any negativity and listen to any people that are actually trying to help you and try to get you out of the dark hole that you might be in, or whatever kind of mental state you're in. It's something that can easily consume you, and it's really just fucking tragic to see this happen to someone like Reckful, who's brought so much happiness and so much excitement and so much joy to so many people across the globe in so many different aspects, whether it was his streaming, whether it was his personality, whether it was his what he talks about, what he preaches, who he's friends with, who he's interacted with. And it just fucking sucks, man. It's just the gaming community fucking, like, we need to do better, man. I know we're better than this, and it's like that's why when you see your friends like talking shit or just trolling or making jokes, like, we got to stop that shit. Like, it doesn't do good for anyone. It's not funny. It's not a joking matter. It's not worth laughing about, and it destroys people mentally. You might not understand that if you're not in that position, but any little comment or any kind of little sly shit here and there, it has really lasting impacts.